How are we getting on, folks? Look, it was a great day for the birthday winners and everything else like that. Look, realistically, it was very, very good overall. In terms of calling races, I'm actually very, very happy with the way every other race panned out. We were just very unlucky with three races in particular. We had Ross Ryan in the Derby, um, Colin Keane in the was it a 2 or 3 year old race, and there's another horse as well. I just can't think off the top of my head. Um, he knows no fear. Couldn't get, I suppose, a gap in running. And look at overall every single horse that we put up there today ran very, very well. Gave us plenty of excitement. Realistically, we had a very decent chance overall, um, with different horses coming in, and even up to the last furlong, like the majority of them were thereabouts, and were definitely given a good run for themselves. But look at we only got one winner in the end. Look at, I'm not going to count Cadillac because I was sort of humming and hawing between the two of them, and instead I went with Njord, who ended up being a non-runner. But the patron pick, obviously, something that I'm not too used to, romantic proposal, and ends up winning at 5-1. Put it up at 5-1 last night. Was backed into 11-4, and then Dalton Highway, Sam Ewing. Savage ride. Really, really well timed. I was very impressed. Realistically, he could not have given that horse a better ride. Simple as. It was just pitch perfect, and there wasn't a horse in the race that was going to stop him. Moving on to tomorrow, and it looks to be a fairly similar enough day today, or as it was there today. I'm going to keep my system as mad as it is. But I'm going to keep the system because it actually worked out very, very well for us there today. I've tried to pick out the most likelier winner, and I've got great reasons behind them as well. So look, there's some massive, massive prices in here. Shortest price I have is 5-2, and the biggest price is 25-1. So they're the ones that I have nailed down to be the winners of these particular races. It's completely up to yourselves what way you want to bet them. If they're over your win threshold, I definitely would be suggesting going each way, but we may as well go hard or go home. It is the birthday weekend after all. First race off, the 130, and this one here, I am definitely very much liking the Donegal O'Brien horse, ridden by Gavin Ryan. Shinkansen. I could be completely butchering that name now for all I care, but that's my pronunciation of it. Three race maiden, second last time out. It definitely has more experience than most in here. An awful lot of these are coming in here unraced, or not necessarily showing too much form about it. So in my personal opinion, I think Shinkansen should be able to take advantage here. The second last time out, just going into it here now, behind Albion Square. Albion Square hasn't necessarily lit the world alight, but it did make the trip over to Ascot and finish 9th of 27. Behind Chipotle, Dig 2, Booney, Bond Chairman, Armour, Caboo, Routine, Gilded, Head of Home City, Admiral D, Barging Through, Ernie's Valentine. Not going to name them all. There's 27 horses in the race. I'd be here all night if I did, but they obviously hold Albion Square to be some sort of standard, and I don't know. I don't think that this field of newcomers is really they don't seem to be world beaters, with respect to obviously Aidan O'Brien's horse being a half brother to Leo de Vega. So it's hard to really know. Usually these, just going into the owners here. Okay, so it's Mrs. Magner or Michael Tabor. They're all involved in Coolmore as well. So they're just probably a different branch of Coolmore. So okay, that possibly changes things a small little bit, but as we all know, the way Aidan O'Brien sets his horses out, they normally come on for the run. Generally, first time out, they're only testing the waters and they're only sort of seeing what sort of horses they have. I'm not 100% convinced that Luxembourg is going to win first time out, and therefore Shinkansen is definitely the one that's going to be the one I'm going to be siding with here. That one there is priced at 4-1. So look at, if it drifts out in the market, it's at an each way price, but it's definitely at a very, very nice price for a win market as well. 2:00 is going to be my patron pick of the day, and I'm not going to be covering it here. Really, really confident in this one. I definitely think it's going to be a very, very easy winner. 2:30. This is the first big price of the day. And I am definitely taking a bit of a chance. This horse here it's been around the blocks, and it is a 9-year-old at the end of the day, so it is getting on in life, and it has seen better days. But as we've seen before in racing, there's often times when there's life in the old dog yet. And Geological here definitely does fit the bill for me anyway. When you look at the way the horse is weighted, the draw it's in, stall 10, not necessarily a bad draw here in such a big field. Generally likes the front run, so it's going to try and make the pace and try and gallop these into the ground. It's definitely weighted to do so. Robbie Colgan on board, definitely very interesting. 4th last time out. That was a decent enough run behind Chuquinto. That's mad. Arnhem, and ahead of Maguire's Grace, Art of Unity, Tide of Time, Blast of Magic, Rosie Bassett, I've Got Wings. Look at realistically, it doesn't necessarily need to improve much to go and feature in a race of this standard. Does like good ground, is probably going to be good ground tomorrow. Looking down through the mark of 79, and this is key here, folks. When you look down off 79, winner in Dundalk, that was in 2019, October 2019, 79. Has he had another one since? No, he didn't have one before that, apart from the last run, which realistically was a wind opener as well. Next time out at a mark of 79. Just trying to find it here now. Okay, a winner in Dundalk off a mark of 78. So similar enough mark. That was at a price of 20-1, so it wasn't necessarily fancy that day. The time before that, 4th of 13 off a mark of 79. 79, 7th of 9th in Navan, but that was in Yielding to Soft. It's not going to get that tomorrow. That's all I can find here. I could be missing a few, but in terms of the potential this horse might have and the fact that it did put in a very decent run last time out, I definitely think 25-1 is massive odds here. And look at the favorites. The favorite is 5-1 at the moment. It's a tricky race. It is a very, very tricky race, and it does take an awful lot of method to the madness, let's just say. And I am putting method to the madness here. 79 is a very workable mark for this horse, and the fact that it has a run under his belt, and it is running of a fairly consistent nature, I definitely think there's more to like about it than most here, and realistically could potentially be a bit of a springer in the market, and should, I suppose, definitely give a good running of it. Next race off then, the 305, and obviously look at the English horse over coming over here. Sam Ewing on board. It's going to kill me to go away from Sam Ewing now. But I'm going to go against them, and I'm going to go with another very, very talented young lad in the saddle with Luke McAteer claiming 5 as well. With only spoofing currently priced at 6-1, there's a bit of money coming down for it now at the moment. Realistically, this one wouldn't necessarily need to improve a hell of a lot more to feature in this race. Obviously, drawn in stall 2 compared to stall 14 for the English horse. So that is a little bit of a turn off for me. Had Lord Riddleford well behind the last day as well. So realistically, it's meeting similar enough standard of horse here, and the fact that it only had one behind it, or one ahead of it, let's just say, last time out, it's definitely showing signs of, I suppose, overall form and well-being and everything else like that. So look at Luke McIntyre, had a very, very nice winner there. Was it today or yesterday? I think it was today. No, it was yesterday on Jim Bulger's horse. So look at, he's a very, very talented young lad in the saddle. Like Sam Ewing, great to take 5 pounds off a horse's back. I definitely think there's definitely something about this only spoofing here. The fact that it's drawn in stall 2 as well. Look at it's definitely very, very interesting. Keep an eye on Strong Johnson, who's been slightly nibbled at in the markets. Dual course and distance winner. Keen McRedmond had a very, very nice winner there today in Sir Jack Thomas. Oh Lord, going against him is going to be tricky, but do you know what? I'm going to go with only spoofing here. I think I think the class and the class of race it ran in Ascot, it's definitely a slight step down in class. Jesus, try saying that after a few drinks, but yeah, 6-1 for me. I definitely would be having a bit of a play on that. The fact that it's been backed in from 9-1 as well is definitely a bit interesting here. Next race off then to 340. And it's going to be my next best. I did have it down for 6-1, but it's actually been well supported. It's actually been supported into 5-1 now for Willie McCreary and Billy Lee. Epona Plays, a very, very nice winner last time out. I really, really like the look of this horse. It's been an absolute blinding form. It's going up in class here now today. Definitely shown to me anyway an awful lot to like about it. The way it won that Group 2. I think that was won by a few lengths, 4 lengths, with another length and a half back to the third as well. So when you look at the horse that came in, Ford Champers Elise is a very, very talented sort. Just a few question marks at the top of the market for me that I wouldn't necessarily be going totally mad on. Santa Barbara needs to improve an awful lot. Thundering Knights has a tendency to run out its race very well, but she does have a tendency to finish second on a few occasions. Cayenne Pepper needs to find a form again. And realistically, this one is definitely it's definitely coming in here with more to like about it than most. So look at us up to yourselves. I think 5-1 at the present moment is definitely well worth playing as well. It's still going to hold my next best of the day. I did have it down as 6-1, but I'm going to have to change that again. It's just the way it is at the end of the day. 410. This market is driving me slightly mad now. I had Pondus down at 5-2. It's been backed into 9-4. I'm going to still stick with it. I'm going to have to do a bit of chopping and changing around, but this is the joys of it. Obviously, look at Passion. It's off the track a long time, and like I said in the first selection as well, Aiden's horses tend to need the run first time out. Joseph O'Brien has 2 runs under this Pondus's back. Last time out, it was a very good second behind Shanro, only 3.75 of a length behind, ahead of the likes of Barbados, Camphor, Shoeshone Warrior. Shoeshone Warrior actually ran a fairly decent race there today behind Dalton Highway. No slouch whatsoever. Shakura, Bold Approach, Powerful Ted, Lunquilla, and Travel On. So look, it definitely wasn't a weak affair, and definitely a nice little shoe in for this sort of a race here. I definitely think the son can topple the father here, especially with the lack of racing experience. But like I said, when you're going against Aidan O'Brien, you definitely want to have your work cut out. But just in my opinion, anyway, Pondus looks to be the one to be on anyway, without a shadow of a doubt. 4:45. And I was definitely very, very tied between two here. Obviously, being a Liverpool fan, I was definitely looking at Mo Salah. And the fact that he's been backed in as well is killing me. It's killing me. But the one that I am going to side with, and probably wrongfully to do so as well, is One Cool Poet, currently priced at 14-1. Colin Keane takes the mount. Now, this is definitely very, very interesting. You don't see too many times Colin Keane riding for Matthew Smith. Well, look what you do, but generally when Colin Keane is on board, it's generally they're going out to win. 14-1 for me looks to be overpriced. Former course winner, definitely loves the course and loves the ground and everything else like that. Realistically, I think they are aiming it for the Galway Festival, but I definitely wouldn't be writing One Cool Poet off. No doubt about it. At the price it is, it's definitely more value there for One Cool Poet rather than Mo Salah. I just think Mo Salah needs a small little bit more, what's the word, experience or racing maturity. I don't really know, but just another couple of runs under his belt before really starting to see it's starting to shine. But yeah, definitely Mo Salah is a very nice horse. The draw as well, he's drawn out in stall 11. I'm not actually 100% sure. One Cool Poet in stall 4. There you go. That's probably the reason why I did side with One Cool Poet. But look, he's a bit of a revelation horse. He's a bit like Sky Ace, or he's a bit like I don't know. He's definitely got his quirks, and he's definitely got he's definitely got a few flaws. I wouldn't say a hell of a lot of flaws, but like every horse, they all have their own flaws. But it's very hard. It's very hard not to like this One Cool Poet here. I am a big fan of it, and I always have, and I always will be. Definitely made me very, very rich in the Galway Festival in 2019. Wasn't on for the first couple of occasions, but definitely got on for the last, I don't know, it was a four or five time or whatever it was. It was a crazy feat, like. But yeah, that's the reasoning behind my choosing of One Cool Poet tomorrow. Finally, then we're going to save the very best to last, the nap of the day. And as you can see, I'm wearing the club colours of this particular trainer as well. Darren Bunyan with Notre Belle bet at 3-1. This horse, it's been very, very consistent, but it's been very frustrating to follow as well. Debut 150-1, a length, and was it 3/4 behind Poetic Flair, Ace Aussie, and Monasib. Next time out was 4-8 behind Lunar Space, Magnumos, Horoscope, and the time before that, second and an agonizing second as well behind a Gerline sort called Ebenezer Perry. I don't know. I think if this horse runs to that sort of level and not just say the second or the fourth behind Poetic Flare, if it runs to any sort of level of that sort of standard, it's going to be a very, very hard horse to stop. Chris Hayes, I'd follow Chris Hayes into hell itself. If he decided to walk in tomorrow, I'd be straight in after him. But look at, I really, really, I'd love to see this horse win it for Darren tomorrow. Like it's Darren is a trainer. Like he's had so much bad luck in running, and he's had so many opportunities where a race has been just, I suppose, there for the taking, and just bumped into one improver or a couple of improvers, or just didn't get luck in running or whatever like that. But realistically, Notre Belle Bet is the star of this race. It is the class act. Chris Hayes on board. My opinion is better jockey than Gavin Ryan, but only slightly. That's only personal preference now. It's just, it's not being hard on Gavin Ryan by any means, but I'm just a big fan of Chris Hayes, and I always have been, and I always will be. But realistically, it's going to be a great race between the two at the top of the market. The fact that Notre Belle Bet has drawn in 5 as well, compared to Emporio's stall 10 as well. So that's probably going to be the deciding factor as well. Look, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Notre Belle Bet is going to be the nap of the day, and I want to wish Darren and all the team the very, very best of luck tomorrow. But look, I'm going to leave it there. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Look, we had a great day there today. The fact that it was my birthday as well made it all the better. Look, we just, if we could have another day like we had there today for tomorrow as well, we would definitely be having a great run of form. And the last thing I want to do is give up this run of form, and just want to keep going and pushing forward and getting better as the days goes on. But look, I'm going to leave you there. If you want to sign up to Patreon as well, I'll leave a link in the description below. But for those who don't know, it is an automatic charge on the first day of every month. So I would be suggesting to sign up on the 1st of July or the 2nd of July, whatever day suits you, if you are interested in it. But if not, just hit that subscribe button and get that name out there. We just want to get as many winners as we possibly can at lovely, lovely prices. Thanks very much, folks, and the very, very best of luck tomorrow.